It looks like he might actually go to start jungling. In fact, he's going to stack up the small camp to try and catch up. XCJ's here now, however. They've been playing around with Felix Schauber. XCJ going to try and run, but a nice cookie setup. Felix gets the scatter blast off, and maybe XCJ may have just given D-Stones a very important gift. Unable to do too much up against the Jug. Meanwhile, to the right side, or rather left, Super going up against SRF. They're going to fight over the water rune, but D-Stones really wants it, and now they can maybe just turn right back around in this line. The briefcase obviously doing a lot of damage, and now the access to fly in. And Super should be able to at least get the kill, but no, he saves it for D-Stones. Top lane, a bit of an engagement here onto Felix Schauber. Icarus Dive going to slow him down. Felix still trying to run. Nice God's Rebuke going to keep him alive, and now they're going to turn right back around onto the Phoenix, and Felix, he might just survive as they do get XCJ. Regen Rune taken by SRF. Super going to be targeted now as the Earth Spike does come in, and Son Goku going to move in as well with the Viper Strike. Kisses. But there's your Omni Slash being committed with the Mortimer's Kisses, and God King, he'll be happy about that. He loses the support ET, but he gets a mid-Viper for himself. However, here come the TPs, RNG. They want to try and fight this one out as they go in with the Arena and the Spear right onto the Tide. But Son Goku, he's going to be alright, at least for now. The Hood of Defiance, but here comes God King with a nice cookie and a spitter setup. The Raw flies out as well. SRF, he's quite low on the line, and he is set to die to the spin, or maybe not. The Ravage timing. Oh, that is a perfect Ravage from Son Goku. Flyby still going to get the spear off in time, so Son Goku is not quite out, or maybe he is. He gets the high ground now. D-Stones will continue chasing him up. Wild Axes are there, the Astral Spirit, Son Goku, he just keeps avoiding them. Onto the next high ground, into the triangle. They'll jump up, the Earth Spike is there. Son Goku will finally die. He will finally die in that Tide, but it took such a long time.
But you can see the difference just the Hood of Defiance makes in the Tide. It's so hard to melt him. They threw pretty much all their big spells at him and still couldn't do it. Still, so pretty good push out. They take the tier 1 and they're lining up for IDC.
He just takes the stomp. He allows them to set up like that into the cookie and the scatter blast, and he just gets destroyed. I'm kind of shocked he just stood there and took the Astral Spirit.
Yeah, that was really confident coming up from
Goku now.
Arena.
Bot lane, Arena going to be there. They don't have too much stun, but Son Goku doesn't have any stun. He's gone. Into 7E, and SRF now is just going to get annihilated. Just no chance as the damage amp keeps stacking for some reason. Mr. Ice Frog, if you're listening. He just taken my God King, and now Son Goku, he doesn't want to commit the Ravage like this. In fact, he has no mana for it. They'll go straight on the Viper. 7E, he is set to die and does go down. Flyby still surviving meanwhile. The Ravage in the backlines did nothing as God King will just fight IDC. He's trying on the PL to be able to fight back and doing a great job of it, but Son Goku is not going to be able to do the same. SAG once again just can't find the opening.
With the Aegis up, they can look to high ground if they wanted to.
All right, onto SRF, the spear, it will not connect, but the cookie will also miss. Nice start, at least for SAG, but now the Raw's out. 7E, he's been caught. Oh boy. Head on to the tier 3 tower now. Son Goku moves in, but he didn't have Ravage yet. It was 3 seconds away, and he is set to die. He does have buyback, but I don't really think they want to commit it like this. Even if they do, they might kind of force themselves to GG out. So I don't think they can really win a team fight.
No.
They'll commit. Earth Spike is there onto 3 heroes, but God King, he's going to avoid everything. With the spin timing again, as Son Goku will move in, but his blink has been cancelled by the boar. They finally take it out, but it might just be too late. He's got the blink up now, but he doesn't have the vision. They're going to smoke up. They've got the Blink Ravage. They see God King, but his reaction times have been pretty intense this game, as now the smoke is broken, but they do get the Hex out. Still Arena down, but the Ravage is there into the egg. They'll burst down God King, and now they can take the team fight. Flyby, he's just going to try and TP out of there immediately, and does. And now the Stomp is going to hold them back.
despite losing a tier 3, so they still have some really decent shove potential in their lanes as well.
Arena is there, XCJ, the only one caught, and he is gonna die.
From 30% to 50%, so I think now it's in a pretty good spot, and as you mentioned, they're installed.
They've got Son Goku in that arena, he's got no way out either, he's just gonna die. SAG don't really want a piece of RNG at the moment.
Yeah, and I love this coming out from RNG. They're smoked up behind their jug, they're gonna be circling around here.
Oh, here we go. They're going to initiate straight off the bat with the Viper Strike onto Flyby, but he's going to be just fine. The Earth Spike, however, does land with the God King with the finger, but it will not be enough. They will go straight onto Son Goku. There will be no Ravage to fly out this team fight as God King now is going to try and find another target. They'll go onto 7E. They'll find the Viper. They are making it look very easy, John. D-Stones, he still has the Aurora. There was just no need to throw it out.
No, and now they're going to be able to find this tier 2 as well, start sieging the high ground once more. Without the Viper and without the Tide, it's a lot simpler. So they still have the Aegis as well, they've got Cheese on hand, so many protections for their chorus and taking these fights, and SAG just need to find
the peel. IDC has been caught out, the stop is there in time, they're just going to hold him for a little bit into the Earth Splitter, but he will topple away. Instead they got the egg from XCJ and they get the peel. And there is a swift slash out. In fact, that was an Omni just onto SRF, and that's it. They call the GG. They've seen enough. And RNG, the panel did predict that they would take out this game 1. Well, runes are about to spawn up. 7E. Make the rotation down towards the bot side where Super is in a spot of danger. SRF did lock him down with the glimpse for a second, but it is enough damage. TPing out at the last second, making sure he gets every CS he can get. Of course, top lane, they are starting to pressure quite aggressively. Cookie is out onto XCJ. He has no Icarus dive either, so this should be a guaranteed kill. Scatterblast does land with the Impale out from Super. Flyby will happily take the kill for himself. Very unfortunate stuff there for XCJ, and of course now IDC is not going to have a very good time either, because they're just going to run him down past the tier 1 tower. With this tanky Centaur, you can't really get away from him surely. IDC, he has TPs coming in from his teammates, but now RNG just want to try and back off after forcing these rotations. Flyby, he's in a spot of danger. Very awkward scenario here for the Centaur. Super moving back in, the Scatterblast does land into the double impale, and Flyby, he is still running out of there. He does have a TP, but he's trying to find the right spot. SRF has been patiently waiting, but little does he know. Could be a little bit challenging to go up against the Timber Sword, so they might just decide to allow that tier 1 to go down, or maybe not. There are TPs coming in now. We see the Beastmaster, D-Stones, he's there. Son Goku is going to try and run, but of course the Roar is going to fly out. Super will have the follow-up stun, but do they have the follow-up damage? Son Goku is trying to chain away, but is not going to be able to get out. It's a very nice kill there, down to the bot lane, but now Flyby is in danger topside. He doesn't have Stampede, but he does have a Cookie. Unfortunately though, he got tossed up and does die, and now Felix, well, he's going to be just fine.
You're going to be able to overtake the Nature's Prophet if it's not careful, because, well, the NP can be all over the map. It doesn't clear as well as bad.
Here we go again.
So you have to watch that.
Mid lane, SRF going to be targeted. In fact, they found another in the backside. They've got IDC. He's going to try and Earth Shock out of there with the Enrage, and he does get selfed up by XCJ.
Timbersaw can tank and maybe clear out the wave, but you don't naturally shove in the same way an NP, a Beastmaster, even a Centaur does, and the top tier 1 now is going to fall.
It's really perfect play from RNG. As long as God can get himself out, but it's going to be hard now. 70's chasing him down, and Son Goku is going to be able to find him. That Flyby, he's not safe either. SAG really wants to punish quite hard for this. Enrage up, but while they're doing this, their mid-tier 1's being pushed in again. So they do get 2 kills, but they're going to lose that mid-tier 1 tower. I don't know if you call this a win. In all honesty, John, you're losing so much map control here for SAG. While you found 2 core pickups.
And that is some time you have to wait for here on SAG's end.
Off lane, Son Goku does get stunned mid-chain, and with the Roar out, he should have no way out of this. Cookie is there to follow up, and he's a tanky boy, but it just won't matter. SAG now thinking about turning right back around. Hugo with the chains in and the glimpse out onto Flyby. He does stampede, but he's trapped up in the kinetic field and he is going to die. Nice pick up there from SAGs. They look for more. Felix Schauber will be scouted out by Son Goku, but doesn't have enough. Super's still around. They will avalanche toss, but Felix is still alive, still surviving. In fact, SRF, he's the one caught out. He's going to die in the Disruptor, and now the TPs are going to start coming in. Son Goku, again, he's really not that tanky at the moment, and he's going to die. And XEJ, well, you've got an Aghanim Scepter up on D-Stones, John.
Think about diving further, because once the egg's gone, once the static storm's gone, a lot of your damage and control kind of disappears, even with a tiny on hand.
Oh, this could be bad again for SAG. They're going to try with the kinetic field and static storm right onto Super. They'll get the Nyx Assassin, but now the Roar comes out. They've caught 7E and they kill off the Tiny. Here comes the Stampede. Flyby, a great stun initiation, does get the Phoenix. Looks like Son Goku is going to try and fight back now with the IDC, but can they get it done? D-Stones is very low and does eventually die. Get a glimpse back onto Flyby, into the Cookie though. Flyby still alive. In fact, a follow-up stun now, just holding them down. He will try into SRF. And SAG this time. It's kind of another thing the panel talked about is the profit into Timber. It doesn't feel that amazing as the mid lane now. They go back at 7E, a nice toss back onto Felix Schauber, but he's going to Cookie back the other way. He is still alive, but should go down. But now 7E is going to be in danger. Icarus dive out into the egg and the front line there from Son Goku. Another stun from Flyby to hold him down with God King. He's going to be able to avoid the egg stun. Felix Schauber now, unfit to Sunray. Did fight back for this team fight. But SAG, they're fine. Group up again into the dire jungle here. Son Goku going to lead the charge. IDC really wants the farm, but this is a very dangerous position. They're going to move in now onto XCJ instead with the stun out. They do get the kill. SAG going to show themselves in that top T1 tower. God King will be there to defend. Nature's Wrath out immediately. And inside jungle now, they found someone in the backline. It's going to be SRF. He gets the static storm down with the Yules up, but he is set to die and does go down. XEJ, he'll lose the egg immediately, and now they control up the Timbersaw. However, God King, he was controlled up by IDC. He will die on the Nature's Prophet, but will it matter? Can they get IDC as a trade? Not quite. A 7E now, jumping right back in for an avalanche toss. Does blow up D-Stones, and now Flyby. Also, Dire Super will try to TP up, but it's a complete team wipe.
Son Goku just allows them so much more utility from these two heroes.
D-Stones, avalanche toss is out, and they blow up the Beastmaster again. IDC will not let them forget about it. Look at Son Goku. He's even got the Dragon Tail up on, so he's got even more magic damage going onto that tower as they try to move in. Impels out, Flyby with the follow-up stun, but the static storm dropped immediately. And now, how do you fight back? IDC moving in. The BKB was there in time, but the Roar did connect. God King just trying to get himself out of there. IDC, he'll go straight onto Felix Schauber, but he will be fine for now as XCJ does die, but they do eventually get the Snapfire in the end. But in comes the side of RNG, back onto 70, and that'll be your Tiny gone. SAG perhaps getting a little bit too excited. So RNG should know about this, and they do, it seems. The board does start moving its way in. Roshan's currently on fire, which is not going to feel quite nice, but the Mortimer's Kisses are going to fly in. There's going to be even more fire as the Roshan is a bit too low on IDC. He has the Aegis, but now 7E has been caught out of the Tiny, or has he? It's going to be just fine with the egg follow-up. God King now, still just trying to fight, does get some Goku, but needs to run as the Icarus Dive does move in, and the Prince Pack is there onto God King, and IDC just wants to burst him down. God King eventually going to die to the fire damage as they move in for more. IDC, he does get rolled up. They might be able to turn now and at least get the Aegis off him, and 7E, he has gone way too far into the back lines. He'll die in the Tiny with that SAG. I think they're done with this team fight.
For SAG, whereas for RNG, I mean, maybe you could flip
Flyby goes straight into XCJ. They do get the static storm down, but it's not going to matter. They'll lose the Phoenix. Onto SRF they go. Flyby, he'll pop the Stampede. There'll be a buyback from XCJ. They do need the egg, but the side of RNG are already backing out. Flyby will just TP away. 7E, he does at least get the avalanche cancellation, but now the spider legs. Flyby is going to try and run. XCJ will follow up with the Sunray, and the Chakram does land.
When it comes to pure right-click damage from all these cores, you do scale a lot better with the Ursa.
Oh, top lane, Super. The Impale on the 4-star will stick around for the mana drain, but the Yules is out from SRF, and Super now may have gone a bit too far. He's going to try and TP, but the glimpse is there. Super, he'll turn back around onto SRF, but AG, very careful here. RNG are starting to move in, and they got the Impale off, but IDC, he has the Aghanim Scepter now. Problem is the Roar is there, but IDC with that status resist is going to be able to back off and maybe reinitiate with his team. He does go into Flyby. Son Goku dropping low, but there's your Static Storm now out right at the God King. He'll pop the Satanic and try to survive, but they've caught out the Ursa now. In the backlines, IDC is trying to survive with that enrage, but can he survive the damage? He cannot. Keystones does get the kill, and now they move on for more. They move on for the rest. As SAG, they are just dropping like flies. They'll lose another. That it is. God King is hitting very, very fast, as most Nature's Prophets do, and they do roar up. The Timbersaw now, Son Goku, going to be okay, but an Impel is there from Super. They'll get the tier 3, they'll force the buyback out from 7E, and God King, I'm not sure about sticking around. He's just man-fighting against 3 of them. He does not care. He's not moving, and Flyby is right back in. They'll get SRF and force even more buybacks out, as Flyby now will pop the Stampede. They can't cancel the TP out, or maybe they can. God King, he does get cancelled. He is stuck around a little bit too long, and is eventually going to die.
You really want both spells up to really take control of that pit. They only put Son Goku in the front, and they do smoke around. They want to find a pick off first before cleaning up the Roche.
I mean, they need this Roshan to go down before God King's back, but the problem is he has buyback gold now, so he can actually rejoin the team fight. These stones immediately jumped on, but he gets the BKB and the roar off onto 7E, and now Flyby is there with the follow-up. It's a really nice egg, but is it going to matter? Not quite. They burst it down immediately. Now God King trying to man-fight the Ursa. It's not the greatest of ideas. They're just focusing down the MP. Can he survive God King? He will.
Oh.
He will survive a little bit longer, as he'll turn right back around on Son Goku. He finds another kill, and the GG score.
Oh my god. Ooh. I mean,
well,
they had no buybacks.
left.
It's just too much,
What an ending.
and RNG. I mean, they took a chance there, SAG. They were trying to smoke around.